Hello, and welcome to the Curmudgeon. I'm going to slide up a little bit here so I don't have to shout. Sorry about that. I get a little seasick. Sorry. Dramamine. All right. Got several interesting comments to respond to tonight. So, or today, or this afternoon, or this morning, whenever it is you're watching this. All right. It says here, first one. Do I have any favorite monsters you like to sprinkle into your games to really challenge your group? Yes and no. Not a particular monster. Like I'm not a. Well, there is bugbears, but when I bring in bugbears, I bring them in a lot in my Wheel of Blame game, but they're always small, vicious but small. What I really enjoy challenging players with is normal stuff, oversized, or just not afraid of humans and oversized. That's a lot scarier. When you get foxes the size of large horses and they're not afraid of you, that's a formidable foe. That's a big mouthful of sharp teeth. Yeah, I think I have a thing about bugbears. So I got to admit, every time I'm almost invariably have bugbears in just about every Wheel of Blame I've run. And oh, by the way, speaking of the Wheel of Blame, I came up with a new idea. In the blame game. You have to get some sort of token, etc., to get out. Well, I went to Ironwind the other day. I'm going to have a coin made, and it's one of the things it's going to say on the coin is "It's not my fault." And I'm going to have a bunch of them made, probably zinc. Not sure yet. We're waiting to see which metals play well together and which ones don't. But if zinc doesn't play well with lead or platinum, yeah, I'm going to make them out of platinum in my dreams. Pewter, that's what I meant. The other P. Well, then I'll go with something else. But anyway, going to do that in the wheel, and instead of all this other stuff I've been doing. So then everybody's got a weird coin they can try and pawn off in the bus receptacle. Okay, now I got a really odd one here. I got a response that says, "I cannot go there." And so I responded, "Huh?" And it says, "I cannot go where men are treated as dogs. I'd flip out. And I'm sharp steel, not HEMA. All caps. I'm not sure what that is." Well, the thing is, it seemed to me that the guy was fully capable of standing up and cold cocking a woman if he wanted to, but he was willing to be the dog. Okay, so let's look at this for a second. Is this not a form of role play? Now, granted, it goes a little deeper than when we sit down at the table with our 3 pencils in a line and our 18 dice arranged by type and size and our player sheet and our soda pop and our snacks or or whatever. One is just a little well. Yeah, we do have a corollary. There's cosplay. Hey, if you're playing to be a dog or dressed up like an elf and you're having a good time and nobody's getting abused in the process, go for it. Life's too short to worry about it. Go for it. Don't know how we got there, but that was fun. All right. Okay, the Gary Con talk. Oh, this is a strange one. Okay. Gary Con talk was great. My buddy Tim and I dug it. For the sake of those who weren't there, would you at least mind sharing your inspiration behind writing the Dark Colony series? Well, I didn't write the whole series. After all, you were accused of, I don't know who did this, but you were accused of being the most inspired module writer behind Gary himself by one of the seminar panels. Well, if that were the case, I was probably Chris Clark on the seminar panel. And Chris is an old friend, and I know he likes my writing. And I like my writing, but anyway, Dark Colony. Well, that wasn't my thing. I didn't start that. Chris and Jim Ward. Of course, Jim Ward's the big sci-fi outer space guy. Jim Ward and Chris Clark got together, and they were going to make this three-piece arc. Excuse me. This 3-story arc about everything had a dark in it. And the dark visitor was a kind of black mold, and there was a mold, and then there was some on the planet. And see, I had, or it was not on the planet, it was in the ship itself or something. Anyway, I didn't even read the first 2. Okay. Didn't care how it came up. I said, okay. I got roped in because my loving partners said I was going to do this thing. And so, here he is in his first science fiction. Yeah. So I said, okay, I have no idea what you did, and I don't care. This is going to have 2 components, right? What's going on in the colonization ship and what's going on the planet, right? Right. Okay, fine. I'm the planet. And so I got roped into it because the first one was already, when they announced all this was going on, the first one was done, and they were already working on the second one. So I got kind of squeezed in having to do part of the third one. So I did it in a whole different manner, apparently, than I certainly hadn't read any recent science fiction, and I certainly had not read any recent science fiction modules or adventures or anything like that. And I just decided that I was going to have a sentient planet, that it was sentient only because the scout ships, the sensor ships that had come through earlier, had, with those powerful pulses of probing, had set off a cascading piezoelectric effect through this new mineral that was found that was even more effective and efficacious than silicon. And so when they first encounter is 3 or 4-year-old that's very rapidly learning, and so they can interact with the planet in a positive way or a negative way, their choice. The winning situation is a deal with the planet. Everything's great. They can get what they want. The planet has what it wants, and everybody goes on happy, win all the way around. Instead of writing up a bunch of adventures or a bunch of encounters, I wrote up a bunch of reports. Okay, such and such occurred, and this is why, we later found out. So the DM could either take that and make up an encounter that could then be explained by this, or, whatever. Fine, there it was. Well, apparently that hadn't been done before either. So that's what I did. And it's out, and it's only available, I think, in PDF. I think you might be able to get I don't know if you can get a hardbound or softbound actually through drive-through. You'd have to look. I don't know. But anyway, I got to admit that when all was said and done, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed writing the backstory stuff that filled in the blanks, so to speak. I used to read my mom's decades-old World Book Encyclopedia when I was in junior high. I played AD&D too. I'd like to comment on that. I think that a lot of us gamers shared that oddity, that trait, if you will, of being readers for the sake of reading and absorbing stuff like sponges. We're the ones now that are killer good at Trivial Pursuit and Jeopardy. I became a science fiction reader by accident because of my other voracious pursuit. I went through periods when I was in junior high school of going for nonfiction and topics and just reading everything that the library had. Now, we didn't have a giant library, but it was pretty good sized. And they probably had a couple of hundred, 150 at least, books on nonfiction books on the Second World War, and maybe another 20 or 30 first-person accounts and stuff. And I ripped all through them in less than a year. And because my mom was picking up a book for me because I wasn't feeling good, she was at the bookmobile or whatever, saw a book said Troopers, it was Starship Troopers, et cetera, et cetera. The point being that voracious readers, it's something we have to feed. Not every gamer is a voracious reader. I can remember being a kid that, my mom, no reading at the table. Well, I'd read the back of the cereal box, whatever I can find, because I read all the time, and I still do. When I'm not, sitting here in front of the computer typing in that, or I'm reading something off my screen, well, then I'm upstairs reading a book or a magazine or a newspaper, whatever. And I think that's a trait we share. We absorb stuff, whatever our interests are. There's categories on Jeopardy, for instance, that I can kill, and there's ones that kill me. So I don't claim to be some, mega sponge, but I think a lot of us gamers have that. Just read stuff for the sake of reading it, for the sake of learning it, because we enjoy learning things. It's like what I watch on TV. I don't watch. Let's see. I think we watch Tia Leone, and we watch Gibbs, and we watch Bull. And that's just because we like the actors in them. But what I watch is stuff that I'm learning how to do things that I'll never do. I'm never going to suck gold up from the bottom of the Bering Sea, or I'm not going to, mine it in the Klondike, or cut logs in the swamps, or catch crabs in the Bering Sea. But I love watching those kinds of shows, learning how those things are done, how people do those things, how it's made. Oh my God, I absorbed that. I just sucked that up. Mike Rowe's old Dirty Jobs. I used to watch that, just see how things were done, see how people made things. I think a lot of us share that. I think that we're the ones that watch those programs, and yay us, eh? Let's see what else we got here. Okay, there's a good one. Huge fan of your channel. Want to thank you for this guy. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Since you talk exclusively about old school content, what's your opinion on the first edition Illusionist versus the concept of specializing that came out later? Out of all the games I've played, I think the old Illusionist class is probably the most fun thing I've played around with. Being able to get an entirely unique bunch of spells and several spells earlier than the regular magic user. And I agree. I think it's one of the most fun. If you're going to go into a specialty class, I think the Illusionist is where it's at. Now, illusions used to have a special odd connotation in the early stages of the game. Somebody read somewhere because somebody wrote that some hero, I don't know if it was Conan or Cull or one of Lynn Carter's guys or one else, I don't know. But anyway, they got wine or something splashed in, booze that splashed in their eyes, and they were able to see through an illusion. That was the first accepted fallacy. The second was if you believed in the illusion, it could hurt you. Now, you gotta admit, these are two interesting concepts. So I see this dude standing up on the top, loading his ballista, pointed straight at me, getting ready to yank the string. If I believe it, and it's an illusion, it's going to kill me. If I disbelieve it, and it's an illusion, it's not going to hurt me. If I disbelieve it, and it's a real ballista, it's going to kill me. Kind of a weird three-cornered argument there. But I liked a lot of things about the Illusionist. The spells were great. The things, the light you got to play with, and all that kind of stuff was fun. I love playing the Illusionist. It's a great fun, and a friend even made up a little compendium for me of all the Illusionist spells, because one of my sets of pre-gens has an Illusionist in it, and yeah, I love the old original concept of the Illusionist. Not so much love in my heart for anything that came after. I like the balance there between believe it or don't believe it. Is it real or is it not? In my world, if you believe that you just had a 20-ton block drop on you and you fail your saving throw, you died of system failure, whatever. I don't care what you call it. Easy peasy. Don't believe it, nothing happens. Hard to handle as a DM. Fun to play as a player, especially if the DM doesn't know how to handle you just right. You can run rampant and run amok. All right. I'm going to wrap this up now with one last little thing. Been noticing a lot lately on Facebook, of course, because that's the only social media I even bother going to, and that's just to get to train station and pod farm. But I've noticed a lot of lazy-ass gamers. No other way to put it. And it doesn't seem to be any, well, I don't want to start a fight. It seems to be relatively balanced between 5th edition and 1st edition. Asking for stuff that they're too lazy to think up on their own. Hey, I need some powers for an intelligent sword with an ego of 19. Hey, I need a name for a sword with an ego of 19 that can do this, this, and this. Come on, do like we all did. Steal a name out of a book of names somewhere. I keep a real old phone book around just so I can open it up and go down the list of first names and find something odd. Go to a name generator online. You can find name generators that'll give you oddball names for everything you can ask for. Quit being so lazy. Do like we did. Go out and find something you like and lift it. Take it whole cloth or modify it. Don't ask the hive mind to do your work for you. Now, I have asked the hive mind. Yes, I have addressed the hive mind. Hey, how do I replace this filter that I can no longer find? Okay. I haven't asked the hive mind, how can I write a better adventure? Hive mind, what kind of monster should I put in the 4th level? God. What should I name a monster in the 4th level that has 12 eyes and 8 tentacles and 5 feet? Ugly as shit would be a good name. One of the great things that the human species has is its imagination. So come on, folks. Use your imagination. Quit asking others for help, for names and ideas and stuff. If you can get halfway there, well, damn it, take it the rest of the way. Take it the rest of the way. Because you can always modify it. Find a new power or a new skill or something as you go along. You can always unlock something, having proved their worth. Keep the story flowing. That's all. And on that, I'll say goodnight.